environment, sometimes hostile environment, to stay true to his faith. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's the first, I started on that point because I think that's perhaps the most important one, going through schooling, because you spend so much time with peer groups, with teachers, so many different people who are challenging you constantly, and so little time at home. And it's, when you're at home, are you actually talking to your parents? Are you talking about religious stuff? Are you talking about political arguments? Or are you just talking about just normal mundane things, or reggae music or whatever, which is all very interesting, but it's not necessarily what you need at that time. When you come home from school, your parents should definitely be making sure whatever teacher's saying to them about their religion, about their beliefs, whatever, you better sitting down with them, understanding what the teachers are arguing, and saying, okay, well, this is our counter argument for that.
Absolutely, and it is absolutely fundamental, because with any other belief system, if you ask a Sikh child about theirs, very articulate, a child of Islam, and so on and so forth. Now, one of the things that I've noticed as an elder growing up is I've seen children growing to manhood, right, and lots disappearing. All right, now don't get me wrong, because I don't judge a child or anybody whether they have their nuts in their head or not, because it's how you live your life. But, and of course I'm not going to say you're speaking for the whole generation, but why do you think some are now cutting and maybe turning to other belief systems, or just becoming non-believers?
I mean, when I was younger, it was more of a pressure induced, more of a, why do you have your dreads? People will constantly asking, why do you grow your hair like that? People girls will come to you, you look better if you had shorter hair, sort of thing. And you had that all the time, that sort of pressure. I think nowadays, dreads have become repopularized again. There's a lot of people who aren't Rastas wearing dreads, and loads of people are starting to wear it again. So I think that problem won't be as big as it was. But I think it's also about progression, and it's about, I don't know, getting answers that you want. Sometimes from some of the older Rastas, not all of them, there's only a select minority. When you ask them a question, there's two problems. Either they don't know the answer, and they try and give you one anyway, which leads you into, rather than them saying, I don't exactly understand, or I don't exactly know the answer to that question, but here's my opinion. They give you their opinion as a fact, and then that will run you into problems later down the road. Or what happens is, they give you, I mean, I was reading an argument on Facebook the other day, and some arrested girl, she asked, what's the purpose of life? And somebody said, to build the kingdom, look towards the kingdom within, and meditative consciousness. And I was saying, that's good, but today in the 21st century, once you get that inside, there's still back in our motherland, our holy motherland Africa, a bunch of dictators taking over the countries. There's still our diamonds, our gold still being taken away. Your meditative thing is good on a personal level, but like you introduced, Rastafari was a way of life, a personal way of life, but also a movement, and that's the movement element that I think has completely gone now. We've just almost become just like a religion. We go to church, we pray Rastafari, and then that's it. Everything's got all of our revolutionary energy. We send it up to heaven, and we don't put it out on the work and in the street, basically.
Right.
That's the problem.
And you see, and again, what I'm hearing there is that, and you're right, because you sit down and you have your reasonings. People are bringing their opinions, and they're quoting them as facts. And then when you're giving that to young minds, who then mature and start to unpick this so-called reasoning fact, they're thinking 2 and 2 is not making 4.
Exactly, and that's why people are starting to go off to different religions and it's happening with our youngsters as well. So we have to be completely aware of what is happening.
Right, and exactly, because the second thing that I'm hearing there is that maybe as elders we are letting down those who are coming forward, in the fact that, and I hear what you're saying, it's about becoming a religious thing, and forgetting the movement side of it, the collective, right? Now, what I'm starting to see, and again I'd like to get your opinion on this, is that rather than us working as that collective, it's become very individualistic.
Each person's doing their own thing, and then, I mean, what's always confused me with Rastafarian community is no matter what mansion you're in, I'm pretty sure 95 to 98% of the things we all agree on. There's just slight nuances. But those, for some reason, that small little 2%, we're going to spend the next 5 years trying to argue over, rather than saying, alright, you believe that, I believe this, let's work on the very basis so we can start building the institutions and schools, so we don't have to send our children to these schools where they're going to be bullied or called names or anything, where we don't have to send our children to we have to actually build physical structures. It's not all just about spirituality. And I mean, I'm always fascinated in history. I wonder 1,000 years from now on, the archaeologists who look back, they're going to be better equipped than we are. They're going to be able to go through your phone book and see who you was calling exactly, and they're going to say, what were these people who took the name Rastafari doing during the time of Rastafari, or the 10 years after Rastafari they took it, what were they actually doing?
So in part, again, it's about our legacy. What is our legacy? All right, and how are we trying to achieve and make it sustainable for our youth moving forward? And I do totally and utterly agree with you with that one. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take a short break.